Yo, it's your boy Schlotzer here. Today with a little different video than usual. But don't worry guys, there will be a build video just a few hours after this one. I will be uploading it to my YouTube, so stay tuned for that. But today, I was watching YouTube and I saw that the Rainman, Trmplays, uploaded a new video about Ascension, and I thought I'd make a little reaction video to it. Also, I'm gonna sell this Tryhorn Dragon card, near mint condition, from the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. So if you want to play some bets on that card, just send me a PM on Discord. So, yeah, this is just a reaction video. I'm gonna watch TRM's video and just give my opinion on it. So, let's start right into it.
Alright, what is up guys? So for the past few days I've been grinding non-stop and I got to 60 on Ascension's new realm, Laughing Skull. I played solo the entire way, and as this was my second time leveling was really boring. I could see it being a lot of fun for someone who hasn't experienced the custom classless server yet, but as I already knew pretty much what most of the abilities do, it just became pick a spec and go with that spec to 60. I think that worked.
Let me intervene right here. So, you're saying this is your second time leveling, and every time I see you playing, you're playing the same AoE grind build. Like if it's Flame Strike or if it's Blizzard, like you're always playing the same AoE grind build. So maybe it's a tiny little bit your own fault that the leveling process feels really grindy and boring for you. Maybe that's because you're always playing some AoE grind build and you're not really taking part in the world PvP in the leveling area, because that is actually pretty fun. Like the world PvP encounters while you're leveling are pretty fun. Of course, they are not fun if you're just a AoE grind build and you have no real means to defend yourself.
And I grinded mobs in Hearthglen, 37 elite mobs to be exact, and from that I got 2 greens, 1 blue, and 1 blue tome. I was pretty disappointed as it sounded like they were going to massively increase drop rates, but they weren't really changed at all from what I saw, at least not.
I agree here. This is a point where I totally agree with TRM. Like, the drop rates are just still way too low. Like, the amount of green and blue stuff you find is just really low still. And they increased it in the past, but it just still feels so unrewarding when in comparison to the risk of losing gear when you get killed. You're just not getting enough out of killing mobs. And if you already feel like there's not enough gear or stuff to loot when you are AoE grinding, the whole thing gets even worse for those who do not play an AoE grind build. And I don't think AoE grinding should be the optimal way to level. I just don't feel like it should be like so much superior to normal killing mobs and do quests.
Which brings me to the next issue is that I don't think there's a real viable way for solo players to gear up. Like when you get 60, what are you supposed to do? Originally the way
I also agree on this part with him. When you get 60, what are you gonna do? Like, your only option is basically to AoE grind, because if you're a solo player and you're getting level 60, you either join a guild, start doing dungeons, or you're gonna AoE grind and get ganked by gank squads. So yeah, there's really no real fun or efficient way to start your career as a solo player on Ascension, sadly. I do agree on this point completely. Like, the gear in the world should be more, so you always feel rewarded by taking the risk of getting crushed by a gank squad. And I also think that if you reach level 60, dungeons should not be the optimal way to gear up. Not on a server like this, because dungeons are instanced, it's boring. Like, it's just farming the dungeons to get gear. And I think with the change that dungeon gear and raid gear drops out in the world, Ascension's intention was that people go out into the world, but the drop rates out in the world are so low, they are so low that people still just get level 60, find a guild, and then just grind dungeons, because the gear from the dungeons is coming in a lot faster than the gear you would get from farming out in the world.
they were saying it was that you just kill 50 plus mobs and they're gonna drop fat loot, but they just don't. I killed 18 mobs around level 55 plus and I didn't get a single green drop. The point where you can't even progress anymore. Like as soon as you leave, you just get ganked, and then you just say you just
Yeah, I
lose
agree
more
with
crap,
that. Like
and then now you're down here
you
and
can
you're
really
just
hit
feeling
rock
really
bottom,
disappointed and you just want to
and
quit the
it's really
server, and that's
crushing,
pretty much what's going to
so
happen. And that's why
crushing.
Sargeras died, is because there's a lot of players, they're down here where there's just nothing to do. What ends up happening is like you're going to have like 10% or 5% of players, they're going to be leading gank squads, they're going to be completely dominating everyone and just ganking the crap out of them, preventing them from progressing any further. So that's the problem, and here is how to fix it. The way you fix it is you just increase the drop rates just a crap load, like just so much gear, you're just going through gear. Like you kill a mob, there's a blue. You kill another mob, there's an epic. Granted, you're not getting like higher tier epics. You're getting like maybe tier 1 or something, but you're at least getting something for the amount of time you're spending. And yeah, you get ganked by the nerds who don't leave their mom's basement, and then you go down to here, but it's okay, you
I
can pick
love
yourself
this
back
one,
up again,
absolutely.
and boom, you keep
The
progressing,
nerds
and
who
you're just gonna
don't
keep
leave
going up and
mom's
up and up. It's
basement.
not gonna be like this slow progression system. And a lot of people are gonna have the argument, well, you're gonna gear up too fast, and the server's just gonna be full of everyone that's just geared out completely. So what do you do past then? And I actually don't really have an answer.
On this point, I must say, like, there is more progression beyond gear, because let's assume you play a melee, you have some decent melee gear, you collected all those epics together, and you have a decently equipped melee character in epic gear. The game is not ending there. You're still getting ganked. You're still going to lose pieces of your epic gear, and you're gonna have to replace them. And so if the drop rates are this low as they are right now, you just can't. You just have to spend hours upon hours upon hours risking to get ganked again while you are trying to replace the gear you just lost. You lost gear, you're spending 3 hours to replace the 2 pieces you lost, and you need to avoid getting ganked by some shitty gank squad for 3 hours. It's not possible. It's not working. Like the risk of going out and getting shit on by a huge gank squad is so much higher than the outcome of farming for 3 hours. So yeah, I completely agree on this one here. There's because also, which I almost totally forgot, there's progression beyond gear. You still want, even if you have the perfect gear, you still want REs, random enchantments. You want random enchantments that you put on your gear, and you're gonna have to farm mystic orbs for that, and just put more enchantments on your gear, blah blah blah. The random enchantment progression should be even taking even longer than the actual gear progression, because there's just progression beyond the gear. So really the point of where everyone is perfectly geared and everyone has the perfect REs on the gear will not come, not at this rate, because Ankiraj is already on the horizon. Like, we can already see the gates appearing on the horizon, and the progression of the realms overall, the overall progression through the tiers is so fast that on a realm like Laughing Skull, you cannot keep up with the progression of the realm if the drop rates out in the world are this low. So everybody's back to square one, and everybody, if they want decent gear, they will have to do dungeons and raids again, because the drop rates are just low.
The way the system is now, you're just going to have an elite group of players that don't leave their mom's basement with their virginity tightly intact.
I love this one.
And they will be completely dominating
The
everyone
virgins.
that is trying to live a normal life, that's trying to also play on the server as well and try to have a little fun. And I'm not...
Yeah, I also agree here, like, the server is so catered towards those that have no life. Like, if you the low drop rates are catered to people that farm hours upon hours every day, but those are just, as he says, the virgins that live in the mom's basement. Only those have the time to grind hours upon hours every single day. Every normal player, like, you have a life, you have work, maybe you have family, whatever. You don't have the time to grind hours upon hours every day just to get a few pieces of gear. Especially if you're gonna lose those few pieces of gear in the next gank.
not saying the server should be meant for casuals, but when you cater to the 5% of basement dwelling virgins, it's not a sustainable player model. And that's the reason why Sargeras died, is the 90% of other players have all left the server because these players just completely destroy them. Now, if the server ever gets to a point where we're here and everyone's having fun and we're chilling, we get to an end game where it's like everyone has tier 1 and stuff, you just wipe the servers monthly. And in this scenario where you're wiping servers monthly, I say you make the XP rates around like 10 times. Leveling is not.
About the monthly wipe, I was also thinking about this concept, and I really like the concept. You know, I'm a veteran Rust player, so I know this concept of monthly wipes, and I could imagine that Laughing Skull or maybe another realm could be a monthly wipe realm, and it would be much more successful. Like, if you have immense drop rates and a monthly wipe, it's just more fun. People are getting the maximum fun out of the month because they're just, oh, amazing gear, amazing fights, amazing ganks, and then they next month they have the same experience again. It's always an up. That's why Rust is so successful. Rust would never be so successful if it didn't have monthly wipes. Or even on some servers with higher rates, they have weekly wipes, and they wouldn't be so successful if there wasn't those wipes, because that's what makes it fun. You always have this fast progression through the game, and it's always fun because it always emphasizes the fun part of the game instead of the hour-long grind. Okay, Rust was a little grindy at some points where you had just to grind levels and XP, but of course they realized that it's too grindy, so they cut it. And now it's just you play the game, have fun, progress relatively fast through the tiers of equipment, and then it wipes, and next month you will have the same fun again. So I really like this idea.
Is a monthly wipe too much? Maybe. Maybe it should be a 2-monthly or a 3-monthly wipe. I don't really know. Are there other ways of making the server not be stale and stagnant? Probably. But these are immediate fixes that can make the server extremely accessible to everyone. And for all you role players out there, you still have 2 other servers that you can go roleplay on. But here at Trmplays Incorporated, this is a role player free zone. And we're all about lit content, lit games, aka non-role playing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, that's also a point. Like, if people want grouping, and if people want raiding and dungeons, there's still other realms, but I really wish Ascension would make this one realm where dungeons and raiding are not the optimal way to play. I want a realm that is focused on the world and the world PvP. That's all I have to say to this topic. So, I hope you enjoyed my little rant on this video. Sorry if it got a bit long, but I just had to say what I had to say. And later I will upload a new build video, so stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, or just subscribe for the build videos. That's fine too. Either way, Schlotzer out. Thanks for watching. Bye.